Hey guys, I'm just trying to sit and wait until somebody clicks on so I can kind of um, just talk to you guys. I haven't really been on, um, I think since I did my last video, I haven't really um, made any more. I've just been kind of hiding out and I don't know. It's not really too much you can do but hide out and try to get yourself together. But I posted the obituary yesterday. And so it took me a while because this is difficult for me, and I didn't even want to post the obituary, but I did. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for, the post and the messages and everything else, all of the cards that you guys have been sending me. I got them. I haven't really responded. I had to take a break from my messages. I don't think people really understand what it's like when people are going through stuff like this. So every person that's been sending me messages, I'm sorry for not responding, but I just had to take a break. You know, it was just a week this Friday that my husband passed away. And so I didn't get home, I think, until 1 or 2 o'clock last Saturday. So, of course, I couldn't sleep. I tried, but it didn't work. And about 8 o'clock in the morning, the funeral home called me. So I barely had time to process, what happened with my husband. And then here I am, confirming his pickup from the funeral home. So that's when the messages started. And I know people don't mean any harm. They just probably don't know what to say. But immediately, people were asking me about a funeral. And I'm like, it hasn't even been 12 hours. Why would I even be thinking about a funeral? And so I think by the 100th message asking about the funeral, I just kind of went off on this person. I know it wasn't their fault, but I wasn't going to apologize. Because I'm like, that's the last thing on my mind. And I'm tired of everybody asking me about a funeral when it hasn't even been a day or so since he passed away. And so it really, really, really hurt to ask somebody about a funeral when they're going through the stuff that they're going through. It's like, I've never seen anybody, even before social media, not post an obituary or do some kind of announcement about arrangements. They always do it. So, it's like I've been on the grief and loss ministry when I used to be in church. And one thing we did was immediately we called the person. We said we were sorry. We said we're here for you. We're going to be sending prayers and thoughts to you. And that was it. We gave them a month and then we called them and checked on them. Then you go to 6 months, you call and check on them. And then the anniversary of the person passing, that's when you checked on them again. You didn't say stuff like, I know how you feel. Because even if you both lost a parent, your emotions are not the same. You're a different person, so you can't really know exactly how that person feels. You never say that person is in a better place. It is just, we had this protocol that you just basically let them know that you were there, and then you try to support them and then you just keep on going. So like I said, I don't think people are being malice. I'm just telling you, as a mourning person, as a person who is suffering a tremendous loss, the best thing to do to the next person that's going to have a loss is just let them know that you're there. Don't ask them about funerals. Don't ask them every day how they feel, because you're reliving this nightmare over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then I noticed that I put a post up maybe a week before my husband passed away, and it said illnesses and funerals bring out a different type of person. It does. And so I've seen posts of people who don't know what a cub is, who don't know what a gremlin is, and don't even know what a chula is. And they're talking about, the world have lost somebody. And people are in their comments saying, my condolences to you. Sorry for your loss. And I'm like, what loss did they have? They're just being like attention whores when they have not even been around my husband. What loss did they suffer? I have been a housewife for over 30-something years, 30 plus years. And my current husband wanted what my gremlins had with my first husband, for me to stay at home and take care of the children and raise them the way I raised the gremlins. And he was so impressed with how I was with them. He was like, oh, you gotta be at home and take care of our cubs the way you took care of the gremlins. So my husband was our sole provider. So not only was he my friend, my best friend, not only was he my confidant, not only was he my lover, not only was he my homie, he financially took care of us. So now I have to get a job. So what loss have anybody suffered? Literally, I was like, I have to just take a damn break because I can't take it. It's like literally talking like they have lost something. They haven't lost anything. And I try not to waste my energy because I need it to get through the stuff that I'm going through. But it's like, it just gets on my nerves. And I apologize for people that I have not said anything back to. But like I said, just constant messages about a funeral have caused me to unplug. Only make a couple of comments on what I post. And I just keep on going because I can't take it. But it's like, that happened last Friday. Saturday morning, I was talking to the funeral home. Then Sunday, I had to send more stuff for the funeral home. Then a couple days later, I had to prepare for Christmas. So I haven't even had time to sit and process what has happened to my husband. So my friend said this to me this morning. He said, after the funeral, your funeral begins as the mourner. So when everybody leaves and the phone call stops and everything else, the funeral is final for everybody else. But it's just beginning for you as the mourner. And I said, preach. You said it way better than I could have even got it out. So I haven't even processed what happened with my husband. I haven't even started to mourn yet, and like I said, just the constant messages. When are you going to do the funeral? When are you going to do the funeral? Funeral. Up, funeral. Down, funeral. Wake up, funeral. Go to sleep, funeral. I couldn't take it anymore. And I was so afraid that somebody was going to slip that in another message that I had to stop answering messages. It's like it's counterproductive when somebody is this sad and people are constantly asking about funerals. It is so counterproductive. It's like taking a hot poker and jabbing it in your eye. Not only is your heart broke, but we're going to go and jab this somewhere else. Constantly telling people, you need to eat, 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 you need to eat. Have you ate today? Have you ate today? Have you ate today? And I'm like, where would your stomach be if you truly love somebody and then they're gone? What emptiness would you have in your soul? What emptiness would you have? How could you get up and feel hunger and want to satisfy that? It's very difficult to do. So that's why I've been juicing. I'm at the juice caboose right now. So I'm going to go in there and get a smoothie. I don't want food. And my body doesn't want to chew. That's why I've lost so much weight. But I'm still putting nutrients in my body. And like I said, do I think anybody is being malice? Absolutely not. I don't think the people who are saying stuff has a bad bone in their little bodies. I'm just telling you, as a morning person, sorry, it's a lot of stuff that's going on. You know, I've even had somebody tell me that my heart would heal and I'd have room to love somebody else. And the only thing I did was just start crying. I couldn't do anything else. I'm like, you know, I think people think I'm like Medea. I think she said her husband died at 5. She had the funeral by 7, was at the insurance company at 11, and then the casino by 9. And I mean, you know, people laugh because, you know, it's like a stage play and it's supposed to be comedy or whatever. But it's like, I wonder if people really think that's what's going on. Here it is, over a week, and the funeral homes have had to say, hey, you got to make a decision. That's how hard it is for me. That's how hard it's been for me. You know, and like I said, after Saturday, you guys are going to go about your merry own business and, you know, attend to your own lives and things. And my morning is just going to start because it's final for everybody else, but it's just beginning for me. So I'll get it, Belle. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I love you. I probably won't be opening up any messages because, like I said, I'm just tired of people asking me about funerals. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. I don't know. You know, unless you've gone through this constantly, you know, it won't probably really ring a bell with you. But it's just too difficult. It's too difficult to deal with and then have to be bombarded with, have you made arrangements? That's it. I don't understand why that's people's first thought. I have no idea. But I'm not going to do a funeral for my husband, to answer everybody's question. I refuse to do a funeral. I am not celebrating my husband leaving this plane. I'm not going to do it. I don't care if anybody else need a funeral. Just go have your own funeral. I'm not doing a funeral at all. It is not going to happen. I'm not going to sit and let my husband, who means so much to me and those people in his lives, not in passing, who don't say nothing to him, don't celebrate anything that he's done, haven't been to one graduation, haven't been to one stage play, hadn't been to the hospital one time. Not those people, but the ones who have been there for him, the ones that are constantly checking on me and the kids. We're going to celebrate his life. That's what we're going to do. He's not going to be a number. He's not going to be a dollar sign for somebody to say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and charge us $12,000, $13,000. That's not what I'm going to do. And I don't care if anybody likes it. I really don't care because I'm his wife, not them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to celebrate everything that he's done and what he has stood for while he was physically here. And I'm going to continue that legacy with our cubs. They'll always know what type of spectacular human being he was. Always. I'm going to manage his books and everything else and make sure they stay current. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach our cubs the language that he made because he was so happy about being African American. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to let them watch videos of him being a teacher, being a sensei, and encouraging other people to be the best that they can be. That's what I'm going to do. So nobody will see him be put in the ground. That's just not going to happen. His spirit is too big for that. The love that he had for us and others is too big for that. So I'm not going to do that. Now my husband is our ancestor. So that's what I'm going to celebrate. The wonderful stuff that he did. And when I have to cry and mourn, because I am going to, I'm shedding the tear because I physically can't touch him. I'm mourning the loss of getting kissed by him. Being sad and have him hug me. Because usually he was my comforter. I've had to learn how to sleep again because the only way I could sleep is if I was curled up next to his butt and wrapping my arms around him. That was the only way I could sleep. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. So now I have to learn how to sleep again. I have to learn how to eat again because he took off no matter what he was doing. He came home for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all of us to eat together. That's why I don't have an appetite. Why everybody keeps asking me to eat. This was our routine for all of these years. I never had to drive a car because my first husband drove me everywhere. And then my second husband picked up where he left off, and he was my chauffeur. So now I have to learn how to drive by myself all the time. I was afraid of the highway, but I was on that highway every day going to see my husband. I was in the little slow lane doing 55 miles an hour, but I did it. I went to go see him because I was determined to be there for him. And I was determined to love him until he left. So everything is like I'm starting all over again. So that's why I was saying, when somebody is going through this, you have no idea what they feel. You have no idea. So just say I'm here. That's it. Just say I'm here, and then allow them to talk to you. Allow them to let that stuff out. And one of his friends called me, and I haven't really been picking up the phone, but they just said, I just wanted to say hi and see how you were doing. And I just burst out into tears and just started crying. And all they did was sit and listen. That's what I needed. I didn't need people telling me you got to eat. I didn't need to hear people telling me about a funeral. I didn't need anybody telling me how I'm supposed to feel. I just needed somebody to say hi. And that was it. And I literally broke down and got this from October 29th till now. I just let all of it out. And that's what I needed. I needed to talk about it. I needed to express myself. But everybody else have just been funeral, 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 eat, 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 sleep, 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 rest, 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 constantly instead of listening. And that's what I needed. I needed somebody to listen. You know, like I said, this guy was literally our sole provider. It's like waking up to your best friend every day, waking up to your lover every single day. So nobody knows what type of loss I have to say this is what you need to do. And it's like, again, for the next person, because I'm always thinking about somebody else, it's just my nature. You know, it's my loving nature to want somebody else to be okay, because that's how I am. That's why my husband loved me so much. So the next person that loses somebody, take this little grain of salt that I'm giving you and just be there for them. Don't talk about funerals. Don't tell them how to feel. Don't tell them what they need, because you don't know. Just listen. Sometimes the best medicine for somebody's soul is for you to listen. That's it. For you to just be that little baby olive branch. Their soul needs it. You know, their soul needs it. And my husband, most of the stuff that he did that were first were with me. So, first time he went to a haunted house, I took him. He had never been to one. He was like 23. First time somebody constantly played practical jokes on him was me and the Gremlins. Um, my favorite line was, "Hey baby, you want to go downtown?" And he'd get dressed and just be excited thinking we're going to downtown Dayton. I was like, man, no, I didn't say which downtown. I said, you want to go downtown. And then we wind up in downtown Chicago or downtown Gatlinburg. So those were his first. The first time a woman looked at him with complete love from her soul was me, nobody else. The first time he was made love to was by me, even though he was married before. So the first time he had shark was with me. It's like it's a lot of things that was a first time that he got to experience because he loved me. And so he was my first. That was the first time I ever loved somebody so deep from the whole universe. I loved him. And he allowed me to do that for the first time. And because of him, that passion that I had inside of me was able to grow and I could show other people um, the same love, you know. But anyway, again, I just want to tell you guys thank you. You know, you guys do the best you can do. Sometimes you just don't know what to say or how to say it or how to be or anything. But I thank you guys so much. And, you know, next Saturday, we're going to my husband's favorite park. And Judge Fisher Park is off of Dayton Liberty. And it's like when you go in, you just follow that path all the way around. And when you see the fairgrounds, um, there is a parking lot on the left of the fairground entrance. And that's where we will be. It was the place, the same shelter where my husband would meet me because he thought I was going to do voodoo on him. So he wanted to make sure he was safe. I still could have did voodoo on him, which I wasn't. But I'm just saying, I don't know why the park made him feel comfortable enough that you wouldn't think like, I don't know. It just, that's just a thing he had. Whenever He was angry. He went there to meditate. Whenever he was happy, he went there to meditate. So you'll see us. I'm thinking I might just have a balloon or something, um, so you guys can come there. Yeah, yeah, he would. He would. He would just say, "Forget it. Just come on, let's do it." Um, but yeah, that park means a lot to him. So that's where we're going to be. And then, like I said, we're going to celebrate his life. No funeral ever. So, like I said, if that's what you need, then I don't know what to tell you because I'm not going to do that. But I love you guys, and I'm going to go in here and get this protein smoothie and get some beet juice and head back home. I took a whole weekend to myself and, got me a hotel room and listened to music. Um, did a whole bunch of meditation, did a whole bunch of talking to myself, and a lot of staring in the mirror and trying to relearn who I am. And Chanel, I put it on the obituary that I put up on online yesterday. At the bottom of it, it has the address to Arthur Fisher Park. But if not, if you just put Arthur Fisher Park, Jefferson Township, it'll take you there for GPS. But yeah, I just posted it on my page. But yeah, it's like one question I had asked myself was, you know, like, who are you now that you're not physically Iberi Chukwu's wife? So, I don't have an answer for that. I think it'll take a few years before I figure that out. But I don't know. Oh, I'm allergic to flowers because I know a lot of people have been asking where do they send flowers. It would even be a waste of money, just donate that to my Cash App or something, and I'll put it on the bill. But so I can't have flowers at all. I don't know. Like I said, my morning hasn't even begun. Next week, you guys will get to say your goodbyes and stuff to my husband, and tell wonderful stories or whatever. And then when you guys leave, the reality is going to just start for me. So I will see you guys there. I looked it up. It's supposed to be about 35. That's why I wanted to do it around 2 so it wouldn't be too cold. So make sure you have your mask. Make sure you dress accordingly. If we were at the cemetery, it still would be 35 degrees. So, this way we get to control um, it just being a celebration of life versus, you know, putting somebody in the ground. I don't want to do that at all. But I love y'all. And I will see you guys next Saturday. I don't know if um, I'll make another video. I have no idea. I know I probably will go live next Saturday when we're at the park. But I don't know. So if y'all can, I know, this virus has kind of stopped us from being around people and hugging on people and stuff. But if you can safely do it, just get you a hug and love on some stuff and, you know, try to enjoy this life. It's obvious that tomorrow is not promised, but, today. You can just be the best you can be. And today you can love unconditionally and receive love, and breathe. So I think today was the first day that I just didn't sit and cry, and I made a post yesterday about, my best friend helping me out of this, tunnel of sorrow or hole of sorrow that I had built for myself. So I was grateful to just sit and be able to talk to somebody um, and it not be like a preaching moment, or it not be talking about sorrow or talking about death constantly or talking about funerals constantly. It was just one human being talking to another human being, and allowed me to control the conversation on where it would go and what I would talk about. And that felt good, and I was really able to get a lot of stuff out and cry a little bit and, be happy. And it didn't, I was able to work through the guilt of finally laughing, and not feeling like a horrible person because I was able to laugh, like, seriously, you know, and it was okay. It was okay, and I'm still alive, so, I still have to live. And that's what I was saying. It was okay to just exist for a little while, but I love you guys. And like I said, please forgive me for not really opening up messages, but like I said, I just couldn't take another funeral question. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't take another, how do you feel today? I couldn't um, deal with, did you eat today? I couldn't take it anymore. So I have not been opening up any messages because I don't feel like dealing with it right now. So it's like I feel the same way I felt Friday when he passed away. It hasn't changed. I'm still sad. I still suffered a tremendous loss and wonderful support system, all wrapped up in one. I still feel the same. Get tired of explaining that constantly, and when people ask me to eat all the time, my doctor and nutritionist knows exactly what I'm putting in my body, and neither one of them are worried. So I don't know why everybody else is worried. If the professional didn't say, come on, I'm going to admit you to OSU right now, I'm doing the right thing. I'm getting minerals and vitamins and everything else in my system. I'm just drinking it. The doctor said when my body gets hungry, it'll eat. I'm suffering a traumatic event. I'm not going to want to eat. So if they're not worried, everybody else shouldn't be worried. Because like I said, my doctor would be like, oh, hon, come on, OSU, you go. That's it. So I get tired. I shouldn't have to explain that all the time. But there it is. So I'm saying, when people ask me, am I eating? I'm not eating. Leave me alone. But I come here, I get a plant-based protein shake with wheatgrass, spirulina, alfalfa, fruit, vegetables in it. I get a huge glass of beet juice, and it's like real beets. It's not fake. Um, Carrots, apples, celery, and ginger. That's what I have, and it's juiced. Then I take multivitamins and magnesium and potassium and iron and everything else that you need. And I drink trace minerals. Plus, I have a nutrition shake. So, my doctor is not worried at all. She's not worried. I actually went to OSU, which I'm in Dayton, so I drove the hour and 15 minutes to get my blood work. My blood work is normal. I am not malnourished, anything. My vitamins and minerals and everything else in my body is normal. So, but no, I don't feel like eating. But again, my doctor is not worried, so nobody else should be worried. But like I said, you know, yes, we all suffer loss and things like that, but nobody knows what I'm going through because we're all different people. We have different relationships with our loved ones. You know, I barely go to the cemetery where my sons are buried because it feels barbaric to me. I have to leave my child in the grave and go home. So I have stopped doing it. I just have his picture on the altar. So I'm just not going to do that with my husband. You know, it's just like I said, nobody knows what I feel. So it is just, it is what it is, I guess. But anyway, I love y'all. And I will see you guys Saturday. You know, if you send me a message before then, I probably won't open it because, like I said, I'm tired of talking about funerals and I'm just not going to do it. So, but I love you guys. And I probably will check messages after next week. I'm not for sure. But if not, I'll see you guys then, okay? Bye.